Hello. Let me know if you can see and hear me okay. This is going to be a group energy healing where I heal 141 people. And I did not do the country count this time, but it's usually around 11 or 12 different countries that the people are located in. Healing. And the people I'm healing are the people that purchased this set of 3 healings in advance on my website, jwhealing.com. And what else? But anybody is welcome to watch live. You are welcome to watch live, whether or not you purchased this set of healing. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome. So, the first special aspect of today I wanted to announce right away. It has to do with time. So today is the first ever family live streaming day for me and my husband, because we are both live streaming. We're both live streaming on YouTube at the same time. So I don't have a kitten babysitter. It's the first reality because he's busy out purchasing things he needs for his live stream later today. So hopefully the angels will help me with our kitten. So I don't get kitten attacked the whole time. We'll see how that goes. Worst case, I'll have to imprison him in a room. I hope not. Okay. So, but this is a timer, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I do like sequential numbers a lot. Like a little game my angels play with me. So that means 2 hours, 34 minutes, and 56 seconds. So that is how long I am giving myself for this live stream at the most. It should probably be a little bit less than that. So hopefully it will be. That is my goal. And that is part of the theme that we're working this month anyway. Goals, working towards your goals, having discipline, achieving your goals. So that's one of my goals, is to end before this timer is up. And so now I need to start the timer. There we go. So it started. It no longer says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which is kind of but anyway, thank you for my confirmations. That's so nice of you guys to be so prompt. I appreciate it. Very reassuring that I'm not just talking to my laptop and my pets up over here in Olympia, Washington. Okay, so like I said, the theme is discipline, consistent action, working towards and achieving your goals. And I do, before I talk about what we're doing today, I do have another announcement that is quick, and I just want to get it out of the way. Yeah, it's like 2 announcements. So okay, so new playlists on YouTube. I have made some new ones. I made one at the end of last month, that has just the meridian videos for that go through the shoulders and the neck and the back. And so I forget how many meridians that is. I think it's 6 meridians, maybe 7 meridians, maybe 8 meridians, maybe 8 meridians, whatever. It's a bunch. But I find that, say you want to work your neck and shoulders, it's obviously kind of cool just to see those meridians, in a playlist. Just let them play and you're working your energy while you do it. So that's that playlist. It's on my YouTube channel page under playlists. It says something like back, shoulders, and neck meridians as the title. So that's that. Another one I made just last night, I haven't gotten a chance to use it that much, but I'm kind of excited about it, is the same idea, but for knees. So your knees. And apparently, I mean, it like the shoulder, neck, and back meridian playlist, it has all the meridian videos that go through the knees. And there are a lot of them, they go through the knees. So all those meridians are together in a playlist. And apparently the liver meridian, no, the kidney meridian, sorry. The kidney meridian, according to Google, I don't know if it's true, probably is true, but the kidney meridian is one of them. That's the one that, it's one of the tummy meridians. It goes up really close to the CV meridian right here, and then goes up, but it starts, the kidney meridian starts, I believe, in the soles of the feet, goes up. So anyway, that one is, I guess, the kidney meridian and the kidney organ system, the whole thing helps the knees. But then, if you have like a local issue with one of your knees, it could be just that Wei Chi aura. Like the other day, it was the Wei Chi aura for my liver meridian on one side was all whacked out. So it wasn't there to protect this part of my, I think the liver meridian maybe is the inner one. And that's where I had a little tweak on my knee at that time. And so it was all whacked out there on actually both sides of the knee. So it was not able to protect my knee properly. And so my darling genetic family member was able to, throw enough hard objects there to get me some knee tweaking, a little bit of knee discomfort. So I just removed the hard objects and had angels recycle beings and restored those Wei Chi meridians, Wei Chi auras of that meridian. But anyway, so if you want to work your knees, it could be really interesting to, use that playlist and just heal those meridians that go through the knee. And you can heal the whole meridian, because you watch the video, you heal the whole thing. But, that could invariably make this area stronger. And if you do the Wei Chi auras of those meridians at the same time, then, it could help your knee safety, energy safety of your knees, which is especially important, A, because knees are really super important, but then B, just if you happen to have a relative or someone in your life that tends to target your knees. It's a cool playlist. So that's that. And that playlist, the knee meridian playlist, is, again, on my YouTube channel under the playlist tab. And of course, there's the 12 meridian playlist of all the regular meridians. But I like sort of, this is kind of neat to pull out just certain ones and make a playlist. So what else? Oh yeah, and the new emails right there, new emails. So what does that mean? It basically means if you're not getting emails from me now, but you used to, like last month and before that, but not this month, I changed and I send the group emails a different way. Apparently, maybe I was always supposed to do that, but I never did. You're supposed to like have like an unsubscribe link, and you're supposed to use like some different software. Man, this kitten. You're supposed to use a different way of sending that tells you if any of the emails are bouncing into people's spam folders. Because I guess if you keep emailing somebody who has put your emails, say, into the junk folder, then it wrecks your reputation with the spam filters, because for some reason they penalize you. Like, you're supposed to know that somebody is putting your email into the junk folder. And so if you don't know, then they blackmail you and consider you a spammer. Right. So for, 24 years, I haven't been following those rules. And so I thought, well, maybe I'm being penalized, and like people aren't getting like my news emails because their little spam filters think I'm a spammer, right? So long story short, I'm sending the group emails now through Constant Contact, which is one of those companies that can tell you if the email you're sending is, how many people are clicking on it to read it, how many people click on a link in the email, which I don't really need that level of information, but apparently I do need to keep track of if anyone is sending it to their junk folder, because then I need to stop emailing that person those group emails. So anyway, long story short, sorry about all this explanation, but it seems like maybe because there is an unsubscribe link there now, and I'm finally following the rules for all these group emails that I do, even the group emails for the like the triplet set group emails for the set. I send them, through Constant Contact now, and but some people, those emails went to their spam folder because I'm following the rules now, and I'm putting an unsubscribe link and all this stupid stuff on it. So long story short, if you don't get if you paid for this healing and you haven't been getting the emails, check your spam folder and check, like, if you have a folder called promotions, which I think is a Gmail thing. In Outlook, it's called other. There's an inbox called other. It's like a secondary inbox, which they like divide them for you, and they send any like advertisements from a company to that one. So that's where my survey emails have been going for some people, apparently, which sucks. And I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to not get it to do that. But in the meantime, you could tell your spam folder to screw off and that I'm important to you. Or maybe, like, if you save me as a contact, I don't know if that would help. Save my email address as a contact, janet@jwhealing.com. So I don't know. It's kind of a thing. But if you could, if you have a second, you could let me know where my new, where the survey emails have been ending up in your email system. But worst case, and email me if you have a question. Like there was one person who, she didn't get the emails, but it was not because they weren't in her folders. It's because when I was setting up Constant Contact, I accidentally didn't put her in this contact list in Constant Contact. So whatever, just reach out to me, email me if you're not getting the emails for a healing set that you paid for, which is always the case. Always let me know that. That's important. But in this case, there's like a little new twist to it, which is sort of a work in progress. Okay, so that's that. But hopefully people like the new emails, like they are prettier. I did try to make them as pretty as possible. The group emails. So we'll see. The work in progress. But your feedback is always appreciated. For real. Okay, enough on that. Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, so I already mentioned first thing in the live stream that there's way more of a time crunch than usual for this healing because it's family live streaming day, and my husband has a long-standing Wednesday evening live stream that he does. And so I don't want to get in the way of that. I want to be done ideally a half hour before his live stream is supposed to start. So so that's why there'll be no post healing chat. I mean, if miraculously I'm done and I still have time, then sure, I would pick out some comments and do them, but it's not that likely. So I would welcome your comments because they still help the YouTube algorithm to think the video is legitimate, but maybe just make them like, you're a rock star and I'm a rock star, yay for energy healing or something. Ones that don't require a lengthy answer on my part. If you do have obviously comments about how you feel after the healing, you could put them in the post-healing survey that you'll get late tonight, or you could put them as a comment after the live stream is done, as a video comment. Okie doke. Okay, so I do have a lot of really cool stuff that I like today that we're doing. There's like the main theme related parts, and then there's like supporting parts that I think could be very helpful for people, but they're not like obviously about the theme. And then there's another part which may be the most significant part for many people, that you could say does have to do with the theme, or you could say has nothing to do with the theme, but it's so cool. Okay, so there's theme related, supporting things that are not theme related really, but they'll help anyway, and then a big one that's arguably not theme, but way cool. Okay, so I'll talk about the theme related stuff first. Okay, so discipline and goals are kind of two sides of the same coin, in a way. And so discipline as I'm using it, not like punishing your child and being abusive, but discipline as in working towards your goals, even if they're challenging, even if sometimes you're not sure how you're going to be able to do it, even if sometimes it's just too hard to work on them, you still have the goal, you don't give up, you work towards it in your little baby steps that are possible when they're possible, and you just don't give up. You're like, you hang on to it. That's my goal. I'm hanging on. Right? So that's what I mean by discipline. And so identity, I talked about identity in the last healing briefly, that identity goals are generally, well, they can be more effective and positive and empowering than just like, okay, I want to do something every day kind of goals, like an activity goal or an area of interest goal or like a hobby kind of a goal. If you make it a part of anything that you make a part of your identity is a big deal. So that's why I caution people against like making negative things a part of your identity, like saying things like, oh, I'm such an idiot, or, oh, I'm a weakling, or, oh, like, because I am, boom, that you're making it an identity thing. And so those are pretty powerful. 7th chakra's identity in the top of your head has to do with confidence, identity, goals. And it's the first energy center you come into when you wake up in the morning, and it's a big deal. So positive goals that are identity related, like I am a strong, athletically active, healthy, vital, sexual, vibrant woman. If you're a woman, you choose a female identity. Substitute, edit it in as you wish, but the identity version of it, like I am someone who works out, I am someone who, cares about what I eat. I am someone who makes time to drink enough water every day. I am, and so, yeah, that it's a work in progress. You're still working on it, but to like embrace it as part of your identity, as opposed to like, okay, every day I need to, drink water enough, and I need to exercise every day, because then it's more of like a to-do list thing. And I just think that's not as strong, because like to-do list, like action is down here, 3rd chakra, Whereas if you already have it as your identity, I think it's going to make an easier time of fitting it in if it's just a part of who you are. And obviously you can change your own sense of your identity whenever you want. It doesn't have to be set in stone for your whole life. And so that's part of what we're going to work on today. I was looking at how some people can be kind of fuzzy about their goals if they don't have enough self-love. And so it's like, because heart chakra is self-love, fourth chakra in the center of the chest is self-love, but it's also wanting things, desire, an awareness of your needs and wants. And so I think if your self-love is strong enough, then it's like you get more of and your seventh chakra is strong. So it's like self-love and identity. Then I think that's sort of like good ingredients for having more clarity about your goals. Like not instantly, but in the short run, even, I think it helps with having clarity on your goals. And if you're clear on your goals and you can think about them and keep them in mind, each day, I think it's more likely that you'll work them in. Like I was reminding, I was talking with someone recently about choices and decisions. And so if you own your decisions, you make your own choices, you make your own decisions, and you own that versus feeling like, okay, someone else did this to me. Someone else made me do this. If you own, like, I chose this. This is what I chose. I made this choice. Then it's like you're seeing yourself as an empowered agent versus like seeing yourself as a being victimized by somebody else. And you're more likely to make your own empowered choices if you frame it that way in your mind, that you are able to make choices and you are entitled to make choices. You are entitled to your own free will. So anyway, how are we going to work identity and self-love? 3 ways today. The first 2 ways are more like in line with what we've done, the type of work we do a lot, which is 7th chakra and 4th chakra, 7th identity, 4th self-love, unblocking, and 7th layer and 4th layer unblocking. So we're going to, heal those chakras, 7th chakra and 4th chakra, and unblock them, and then unblock and heal the aura layer 7 and 4 of both astral and physical energy systems. And then 2, you also don't really have to know. So that's the first way. The second way is blanket exercise, where you just put a big old blanket out in front of you and you pile onto it any baggage that's in the way of your identity or self-love or your goals or your discipline. We'll throw that in too, of course. Right? And just say, angels, this is too much to clear, and then have them edit. And then angels, can you recycle any invasive beings in the way? And have them recycle them, and then, melt all the baggage, melt everyone out of the way, melt all the baggage by them, right? So blanket exercise. So you don't have to know, because there could be some kind of baggage in the way of your goals that is not strictly an identity thing, or it's not strictly self-love. Like maybe there's some fear baggage or just some random collection of stuff that somebody dumped in your space in the way of your goals. So blanket exercise, that's the benefit of that exercise, is you don't have to know where the baggage is. If it's 1st layer fear or, 5th layer noise from your neighbor or whatever, just make a blanket, throw everything that's in the way of your goals on it, and get to work, So that's the second way. And the third way, which I think it may not be the most effective, but I think I will enjoy it the most, like when I'm healing myself, is identity and self-love gardens. like we've made like mind garden work. When we do mind garden, we make 2 gardens that are connected, and one represents your subconscious mind and one represents your conscious mind, and there's a gold barrier in between the two, gold flowy barrier between the two, and you work both your subconscious mind garden and your conscious mind garden, right? And so it's a nice exercise if you want to look at those walkthroughs. Search Janet Wright mind garden. You should find some parts of big healings when we did that. So this will be a little bit like that. We'll have a garden for your identity space and a garden for your self-love space, and we'll make them connected because they're so interrelated. And then you just heal both, and you can lift out the stuff that's not you, that's impacting those gardens, and just, melt it away, clear it, or give it to your angels. Because there could be stuff from your parents or your siblings or, some teacher or, whatever, whoever, in your identity space or your self-love space that affects your ability to, your sense of who you are, or your sense of, how much you nurture and care for yourself and value yourself. So I think that should be cool. And the identity and self-love garden. Okay. So then that's the 3 things. The 7th and 4th chakra, 7th and 4th layer, unblocking. That's the first thing. The blanket exercise is the second thing, to clear any junk in the way of you having goals and clarity with your goals. And the third thing is identity and self-love gardens, and healing them and getting all the junk out that's not you. Okay, so then the supporting things. So 2 different supporting things. One is angel storage, which is a useful thing. Sometimes my phone is messing with my mic. Okay. Angel storage is just, you ask the angels to store away in a healthy manner whatever's too much for you to handle right now that's in your space, whatever kind of baggage or whatever that you just can't handle. Because it's like a healthier version of repression, angel storage. Because then they can help you with, working on it bit by bit and stuff. As opposed to repression, you're just shoving it down and it's going to all pop up when you least want to deal with it. So angel storage. So we'll do that. It's quick and easy. And clear resistance to dumping. So, people can be dumpers. We talk about that. And some people are just really dumpers, like all the time with people, like, oh, I feel like I'm in a bad mood, boo, and maybe on some subconscious level, I mean, they don't know they're doing it, but maybe they want the other person to feel how they feel, and sometimes it's when someone's angry, they dump on somebody else to be like, you should realize what you've done, and they don't think the person really understands. So they dump a copy of their own pain and frustration into that person's face. So you may already know who in your life is a dumper with you. But this is that if you work your trigger, you clear in advance your triggers. What triggers when, say, your mom tries to dump in your space, or what triggers when, whoever, person XY, dumper XYZ tries to dump in your space. What baggage triggers? Because your resistance, your, being stuck in that situation is what allows that pile of baggage and hard energy to penetrate your auras and then kind of clobber you or, tank your emotions, sit somewhere in your aura layers or your chakras and just really affect you. Right? And so dumped energy can actually bounce off the edges of your auras if you are non-resistant enough. If your auras are healed, first of all, but then if you're non-resistant enough. So we're going to work non-resistance to dumpers, non-resistance to the dumpers in your life, so that they can try to dump, but more and more of it will just bounce off the edges of your auras and you don't even have to deal with it. And maybe it's like sitting in deposits above your aura or next to your aura somewhere or in front of your aura or behind your aura because it bounced off, but then it's still there. So then you just can regularly kind of blow everything up just outside your auras. So it's just easier if it never comes in, and so working non-resistance to dumping, working, clearing your triggers that trigger when anyone in your life dumps, on you, then it can make it more likely that more and more and more is just never going to even get in your aura, which is really nice, And then, of course, we'll clear what is already in your space that people have dumped in your space. And that's great to do regularly, but, it's also, it's even better if it never gets in your space in the first place. So that's that. And then for some people, it will be the most consequential thing, but we'll see. And I'm going to use a word that I don't often use. Okay. So, like I said, this is potentially for some people, it would be the most consequential thing that we're doing today. And it's not strictly related to the theme, but in a way it is because, curses, I usually call them manipulations instead, but there's no way I'm going to have room in the video title later to say manipulation maintaining beings. That's just such a long, I only get so many letters in the YouTube titles. So I'm just going to go ahead and use the word curse. Usually I don't use the word curse because a lot of people get very triggered by that word. Like they're like, oh my gosh, it's a curse. I'm screwed now. I'm scared, Whereas it's a manipulation. That's like literally what it is. And it just seems like it's just not as much of a big deal if you call it that. But whatever. So I'm using the big word today, curse. Curse. So curse meaning like, somebody in some lifetime did something to you. Generally, it's conscious that somebody is really trying to harm you. There's some little ritual they did or, just in their mind, they're like, I hope, blah, 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 and so they wish you ill. And I suppose some people are so innocent and pure that if they ever wish someone ill, a curse does not occur because it's like they didn't exactly mean it, But then other people have enough, darkness from whatever lifetime that when they say, I wish someone ill, it literally forms a curse, because they have access and agreements with dark energies that will carry that out, So we've all lived a lot of lifetimes. And so we've all been around a lot of different people. And so we've all been cursed a bunch of times, and that's okay. You can clear them. But, some of them you don't get around to clearing for whatever reason, you didn't know how or whatever. And so, that's why in some healings, we, clear manipulations, right? And so a lot of times manipulations is like they'll put a piece of energy in your space, and it's their energy, it's not yours. It's their creation, it's not yours. So it's automatically not helpful to you. But, maybe there's some negative intention with it, or it's a device, it's a clamp, around one of your chakras or something. So it partially disables you in some way. So what is a curse maintaining being? So a curse maintaining being is some kind of invasive dark being that kind of is like, oh, I'll help with that. I'll make that even worse than just a device. I'll kind of supercharge that punishment device in that person for as long as you'd like, and some people just make these curses like permanent. Like, I want that person to be forever harmed, blah, 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 whatever, and so that kind of dark being is like, sure, let's do that. The benefit to that dark being is that they take continuously, because then they have access to the person who's cursing and the access to the person who's cursed, and they steal those people's energy as long as they want, because that's the kind of shit they do. And so people that do a lot of curses, they probably are not that present, so they're not that aware of how much penalty they're paying, and that they're working with these really dark beings that are not trustworthy and are stealing from them as much as from the other people. So bottom line, super dangerous, super bad karma, never a good idea to do. But given the likelihood that people have already done that to you, it's good to just understand it so you can dismantle it properly. So I said a hidden or a prominent curse maintaining being. So any device can have beings linked to it, corded to it, interested in its staying there, beings that are interested in its staying there. And they don't have to be curse maintaining beings. They just, they just like a place where you're not so present and your energy's blocked up. And so whenever you see a device, as you remove it, you ask your angels, can you recycle any beings connected to this device or anywhere near it, right? Because that's always nice, just in case there are some beings, around it, then they get recycled first, and then it's easier just to take the device out and blow it up or give it to your angels, whatever you want, and then do your healing, right? So, but with these curse maintaining beings, it's even more important to get them recycled first. If the hidden ones, though, they're kind of far away. Even the prominent ones, they may not be in your space. They may be courting the device, but then the majority of their energy is out of your space. So you kind of have to look, and ask yourself, okay, is there a being with this punishment device? And if so, angels, can you recycle it? So you don't have to be like super clairvoyant and see it. Just cover your bases and say, well, angels, if there's a being with this device, can you recycle that being? If there's a being attached to or interested in this device in any way, So, because sometimes people that they keep getting oppressed, they keep getting flattened. The situation is this, where they have these punishment devices in their space, and then a being keeps, like, say they remove some of them, or I remove some of them as a healer, and then they feel somewhat better, but then later they feel just as bad again. That it's that there's a curse maintaining being that puts the devices back in their space over and over and over again. Because that being is just, that's what they're doing. That's what they were told to do by the person in whatever lifetime and whatever. So I hope you guys aren't now licking the ceiling and freaked out. It's simple. It's just you ask the angels to recycle the beings, but it's just a heads up that, even if you can't see an invasive being right around the device, they could be far away, like hidden behind some clouds. And so it's really good to get them recycled, because otherwise, the devices show up again and you're like, how did that happen? I cleared them all out. So I hope that makes sense. Yeah, thank you, Lorenzo. I didn't give it to him yet. Okay, so that one, and then right after that, what we're going to do is which is a really good thing to do right after it, I think, is we will clear nightmare baggage. So nightmare baggage is just any baggage. It could be repressed fear baggage or self-esteem baggage, whatever. Is any baggage that later might give you a nightmare, or a bad dream. And so you can proactively clear that. Call it, okay, so it's nightmare baggage, make a blanket out in front of you, put all your nightmare baggage there, clear a bunch of nightmare baggage. So then you're less likely to have weird negative dreams after you do, some big clearing like this whole, getting rid of cursed devices and cursed maintenance beings. So that should be nice to do. It should be nice. And I will, about the whole, so this set is that November triplet set, and then there's the November twin set, and then there's 2 sets in December, right? 2 sets of healings in December. So for each of those sets, I will do the whole asking angels to recycle curse maintaining beings thing, each set at least once, so that everybody that gets any of those sets will have the experience at least once. I mean, you can do it yourself. It's super simple. But, there are a lot of people that are just telepathic participants that don't consciously watch the videos and everything, and people that are conscious participants that don't consciously watch the videos. So this way, I will do it in the healing, every set this year. So you'll get it once each set if you do all the sets. If you just dabble and maybe you're going to do one set next month, then you'll get it then too. That'll be a nice, thing to kind of keep up with. Because sometimes, if you do it once, it depends on how many of these things you have that you're dealing with. But price is probably a better bet. Do it 2 different times. Because your angels, they know how much you can handle at once. And so they may not get rid of all the curse maintaining beings at once and all the curse devices at once, because it's going to usher in a lot of positive growth for you. But, even if it's positive, you can only handle so much at once. So it's nice to do it multiple times. So you could do that yourself, obviously, following along, and the recording that will happen, it'll be its own little chapter. But, if you don't, at least if you get any other sets this year, the little bit of this year that's left, then you'll get more experiences of it that way. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I think that'll be nice and gentle just to get it multiple times. One of those things where it sounds spooky, but I think the experience of it should be quite nice. Because your angels decide how much they're going to help you clear at one time. So they know how to make it gentle and customize it to everybody's personal situation. So I hope that makes sense. So that's it. That's everything that I will be attempting to do today. I suppose some of it could get preempted because there's no time to finish, but probably, let's say, it will all get done. I'm going to quick look at the pre-healing chat comments before I get going with the healing. I can see and hear you from DC, our nation's capital. Thank you. US, capital of the US. Someone gives me nice emojis. Thank you so much. Someone says, hey, Janet, I can hear you, see and hear you from cloudy Las Vegas, 74 degrees Fahrenheit. That's so nice. That's definitely like summer day temperature for us over here in Olympia. That's wild. Thank you for this healing. You're welcome. Someone says, hello from Ottawa, Canada. I'm ripped and wholly corded and ready for this healing. Don't quite know what that means. I think you're saying you kind of need the healing, maybe, because you have rips in your auras and cords. Bring it on. Well, good. I'm glad you have enthusiasm and passion for the healing. That's great. Someone says, thanks, Janet. Looking forward to the healing. Snow today in New Hampshire. Oh, well, I hope you like snow, or at least if not, you can clear your resistance to it. I know somebody in their survey was like, I'm so bummed it snowed. So who knows if it's going to snow here in the near future or not. We own a snowblower now, so that probably means it won't snow. We'll see. This says, thanks, Janet. Much appreciated. You're welcome. Okay. So let's get going here. My most time efficient healing in a while. Knock on wood. Lorenzo, I did set a timer, so hopefully that will help for myself. Alrighty. Our family live streaming day. Okie doke. So I'm going to do 3 minutes of quiet, during which time I will finish my prep and say hi to everyone I'll be healing in non-verbally. And then at the end of the quiet time, I will start healing like this without talking for a minute or so, and then I'll start talking the whole rest of the time. I will talk as I heal, so it's an all levels self-healing walkthrough at the same time as being a healing. So you can do all or part of it on yourself as a self-healer if you wish. Even if you're a motivated newbie, motivated adventurous newbie, there should be cool stuff that you can do. Really, any of it would be safe for you to do, you know, because just say, angels, help me do this. You know, your angels will help out. All right. Okay, thanks for waiting. So, we're going to do grounding, and then right away do help you to heal your identity and your self-love as garden. So let's do it. So your groundings are, you have two, one for your physical body energy system and one for your astral body energy system. You as a spirit. And both your groundings, you can remake them and make them as wide as all your auras. So if you were to stretch out your arms that wide, and so make your groundings that wide all around you, make them both the same color, red or orange or yellow, and wide all the way down to the core of the earth. So your groundings should go all the way down to the core of the earth and all the way up, I would say, to your third chakra, which is below you, where your sternum ends, that bone right here that goes down the center. Where that ends, just below that, that's your third chakra. Has to do with taking action, having good sleep. So bring your grounding up that high just to get a little extra support for your third, second, and first chakras. Okay. And then make a copy out in front of you of those two new groundings that you made, and use your hands, gold light from your hands, to unblock your grounding. So gold light for your hands. You have a big energy center in the palm of each hand, your hand chakra, and then an energy center in each fingertip. So those hand and fingertip chakras, set them with your intention to be metallic gold color. Just think it, bam, set them to gold, and you don't have to see energy to do any of this. And just as they spin, they generate energy, because that's what chakras do. And if you set it to gold, that means that's the color it's going to be generating. So why gold? It's because gold is a fast moving vibration, but it's not so fast that it would be overwhelming. So it'll help you to kind of loosen up your resistance and let go of junk that you're ready to let go of, and to repair any damage that you. So you can use gold light from one hand to repair and unblock the other hand. Right? And use gold light from one hand to unblock your hand and your fingertip chakras so that they work better and generate more light. Right? And you can also heal your shoulders and arms just for a teeny bit so that you're more present there. If they're unblocked more, you can be there more. And that means over time, you're more likely to feel energy through your hands, which is super cool and practical. So imagine a copy of your neck, shoulders, and arms and hands out in front of you, and just use gold light and heal and repair. So any energy leaks in your shoulders, arms, and hands, just use so much gold light that the energy leaks get repaired. And any chunky energy blocks in or around your shoulders or arms, melt those away with gold light. You want flow. It's like as if you're a fish, and fish can swim through water very easily. They cannot swim through rock, right? So rock is like energy blocks, and flowing water is like, what you want in your space. You want your energy to be flowing. You don't want energy blocks, right? So melt away energy blocks in your shoulders and your arms and your hands, your neck, right? And then your auras around your shoulders, arms, and necks. Go ahead and use gold light and comb through your auras and repair them up. We'll do or repair later. But right now, I just want to stick to the basics. So as you unblock your grounding, check that it's flowing in the back and melt away any blocked energy, because you want a strong downward flow all around your grounding, in your grounding. So especially the back, especially the center. Sometimes people will have one side more blocked than the other. Like, for example, if you tend to get injuries, aches and pains on one side but not the other, that generally means too that side of your grounding, the side that gets injured more, that side of your grounding blocks up more quickly. So you can help to reverse that pattern and strengthen the weaker side by unblocking that side's grounding more often. And it doesn't take 20 minutes to do, you know, just even 30 seconds is a million times better than nothing, right? So just imagine some blocks and you're grounding around them in so much gold light, saturate them in the gold light so that they melt away. All right, great. So that's good enough. We just did grounding and we even did a little bit of shoulders and arms while we were at it and hands. So now we will do the identity and self-love gardens, which helps obviously with identity and self-love, but also with goals. Having goals, working towards your goals. Feel good about yourself. And you kind of are in tune with your needs and your wants, and you have a strong identity, then it helps you to have clarity on what goals would be good for you. Like what kind of job or what kind of, you know, where do you want to live, or have clarity on what you should work toward. Okay, so let's do it. So you can imagine the gardens however you want. You could imagine them connected because they're very interrelated. Identity is typically 7th chakra. Self-love is typically 4th chakra. But just because they're different chakras, you know, all your chakras work together. You know, it's all part of you. So don't make the gardens like that they're so far away they don't affect each other. You can make them like bordering each other so that one helps the other. But just imagine 2 gardens, any shape you want. And use gold light from your hands and heal these gardens. And you can, you know, a lot of times in this work, we're thinking about what improvements you want to make, you know. So like maybe you're thinking, oh, I have some self-love issues, you know, I have identity issues, you know, but also notice the strength. Notice like maybe your identity is stronger than it used to be. Or maybe your self-love is stronger than it used to be. Maybe you're better at, you know, self-care than you used to be. You're better at, you know, thinking of your own needs and not just everyone else's needs. So you can admire little things about your garden, your self-love garden and your identity garden. And then 2, you know, it could be that dumped energy from other people, either accidentally dumped, subconsciously dumped, or on purpose dumped, is negatively impacting, is in these spaces, and it doesn't belong there, and therefore it would negatively impact. Whether they meant to negatively impact your identity and self-love or not, their stuff is still going to be in the way. So what you could do is put your hands underneath both gardens and just lift out anything that's not you, that's healthy and gentle to get rid of from your identity and self-love gardens, and just kind of notice, like, is this predominantly, you know, maybe the self-love stuff is from one of your siblings predominantly, but a whole bunch of other people. Maybe the identity stuff is from, you know, a certain parent, you know, whatever. And then you could just use a lot of gold light and melt it all away. So again, scoop underneath both gardens, lift out the junk that's not you, and melt it all away. Scoop out underneath the gardens, lift up anything that's not you, melt it all away with lots of gold. Again, lots of gold light, and heal both of your gardens, your identity garden and your self-love garden. There could be clouds above one garden. If we're using the garden metaphor, then probably you want, you know, sun shining to help your garden. Of course, rain helps your garden too. I guess you could have rain that's positive for your gardens, but you may have a sense of like clouds and rain blocking the sun that's someone else's energy, and therefore it is not positive for your garden. So if that's the case, you know, look above each garden and just use gold light to melt away anything that's not positive that might be above your garden, like storm clouds or something. There's just lots of gold light, melt all that junk away. And if it's not melting, you can just wrap it up in gold light and give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? Wrap it up in gold light. If there's anything weird in the sky above your gardens, angels, can you help me with this? You can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive energies that are messing with my gardens? My identity and self-love gardens. And keep using gold light. You could do like a tricolor earth energy soak. Sometimes that's a nice way to kind of knock things out. So that's easy. You just, you ground both gardens straight from the core of the earth upward. And bring up red earth energy and soak both gardens in red earth energy. And then you can bring that down and ground both gardens with an orange groundings, and bring up orange earth energy and soak both your self-love and your identity gardens in orange earth energy. Bring that down and bring up and make yellow groundings for both, and bring up yellow earth energy and soak both in yellow earth energy. And you can bring that down. And just use your intuition and your gold light from your hands and just tune each garden to just the right vibration that would help you with your identity and your self-love. All right, good job. Woohoo! So we'll do some butterflies to celebrate. Hey, good job, good job, good job. All right. Okay, so I always talk about 5 essentials: grounding, aura repair, creative ring repair, chakra repair, and back here stuff, good karma windows, and base of skull points. So we already did grounding, so we'll do 3 of these, 3 of the 5 essentials now in this one, what will become a video chapter. And then after that, we'll just do base of skull points and back here stuff as a separate chapter. So aura repair, you have 17 auras. They go all around you. Everyone's like, oh, Janet, you should draw a diagram. Thing is, I was going to say I suck at drawing, but it's not really relevant. It's like, I can't draw a 3D sphere around you, in a way that would be clear, in a way that would be convey what it is. Like, it's like a bubble. You're inside the bubble. You're in the center of the bubble, and the auras are all around you. Okay, that's what it is. So each of those auras, if they're fully repaired, is about the same size. So it's like 17 bubbles, and you're in the middle. Your astral body and your physical body are in the middle of all those bubbles. So they go above you, they go to the side, they go to the front, they go to the back, they go below your feet. That's what auras are. Okay. So you have 17 of them: astral body aura, physical body aura, and then 15 called Wei Qi auras. Wei Qi is a strong boundaries energy, which is cool. The part of your spirit. They're flowy in gold. They're very cool. So those are your 17 auras. We're going to repair them all at once right now. So you imagine a rip, and it's like it's a process. You're not ripping yourself. You're just imagining a representation of a rip, and you say with your intention, okay, well, this represents all the rips that I actually currently have in all my auras. And then as you repair this rip, this composite copy rip that represents all those rips, as you repair this rip, you're repairing all those rips. Okay. So you have your composite copy rip. You say, okay, this represents all my rips and my auras. And then you're going to clean it out and repair all with gold light. First with sticky gold wax. So that's gold light from your hands that sticks to everything that's not you. So you're cleaning out the rip by filling it up with sticky gold wax, and it all becomes a lump, everything that's not you, and you lift it out and give it to your angels. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, lift out all the junk at once. Angels, here you go. And then you can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings in the way of this repair, can you recycle them? Get the gold light as deep as you can, so that the rip starts to grow back, repair itself. How do you get rips? You get rips because people have a lot of repressed anger, and they throw around energy when they're pissed, subconsciously. So that probably repaired most of your rips, but you may have a couple leftover rips. So we'll do the process one more time, quickly. So imagine a rip and say, okay, well, this represents any leftover rips that I still have. And then do the same thing. Sticky gold wax, lift out all the junk. Angels, here you go. Sticky gold wax, lift out all the junk that's not you. Angels, here you go. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are in the way of this repair? Get the gold light as deep into the rip as you can. Make sure you got rid of all the hard objects. Angels, here you go. Angels, here you go. And double check the, go with your hands over the outer surface of all the 17 auras. Check for leaks. If you notice any leaks, like air coming out of a tire, just use extra gold light there so it heals up. You can redo your gold buffer zones, recreate those. If you don't know what gold buffer zones are, gold buffer zones, you can watch a video. If you search Janet Wright gold buffer zones, you'll find it. Alrighty, so that's good enough for aura repair. Creative rings are up here. 1, 2, 3. 3 gold creative rings. They generate lots of gold light, which is great. It gets sent down to nourish your major chakras. Also forms a nice cushy force field right there, protective force field. But creative rings, like everything else, can get smashed and not work so well anymore. So make a copy of your 3 gold creative rings out in front of you and use gold light from your hands to repair. Double check. Are there any cracks? Are there any gashes, broken pieces? And just gold light is enough to repair it. So you don't have to be able to see to do it. You don't have to know if it's damaged. Just sort of assume that it might be and use lots of gold light. And if you do have damage or a bunch of cords coming in from other people or invasive beings, it can be very irritating for the creative rings. And when they're irritated, the flaps stick out. There are flaps around the outer around the outer surface, and those flaps stick out when the creative rings are irritated by other people's energy. Just like the round openings chakras have flaps, and they stick out if you have too many people courting you. So there's an easy fix. You just melt the cords with gold light. So imagine your creative rings and melt the cords with gold light. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings courting my creative rings, can you recycle them, please? So a lot of times, if you have creative rings that are damaged, they'll be damaged at like 6 and 12 if it's a clock. You know, imagine it's a clock. So 6 and 12 o'clock and or 3 and 9 o'clock. Those are the most popular spots to be damaged. But all along the creative ring, it can be bashed or cracked. But, you know, like 12 o'clock, especially right in the back, be smashed to bits. So just use so much gold light that it grows back. Breath. So your creative rings and your major chakras along your spine, they're very interrelated. So if one gets overwhelmed, it makes the others more likely to be overwhelmed because that energy that's not yours goes from one place to the next. But if you close the flaps because you're melting cords and repairing, if these flaps close, then it allows the creative rings to relax, which then helps your chakras to relax. And so there could be a nice pleasant chain reaction where all sorts of flaps close for your chakras. So let's do chakra repair. So this is the basic shape of a chakra. Obviously, they're not this giant like the one in your hand, you know, round opening in the front, round opening in the back. So it is an open cylinder shape, but it's certainly pretty short. Right? And the ones in your fingertips, same thing, pretty small. But they are powerful, and plus you have 10 of them. So but anyway, okay. So you make an image out in front of you that represents all your major and minor chakras. It could be exactly that shape. And go ahead and repair and unblock. As you repair and unblock this composite copy chakra, you know, have it be your intention that since this chakra represents all your major and minor chakras of your body and your spirit, then, you know, that's what you're doing. You're repairing and unblocking and melting cords from all your chakras to the extent that's healthy and gentle to you. So, and again, like I said, there are flaps around the outer surface, so they fall shut and it's nice and smooth then if you melt all the cords and repair the damage and melt the blocks. So then your energy can flow in and out through the round openings, but it's harder for people to cord if the flaps aren't sticky. So repair, 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 unblock, 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 melt cords. You can lift out the blocks too. You can melt them in place, but you can also lift out the blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of and melt them above you separately from melt them above the composite copy chakra. Melt them away. Lift out the blocks. Melt them away with lots of gold light. And extra repair now that you got rid of all those blocks. you can run your finger over the outer surface, like the rim of the chakra, to feel if there's any places where your finger dips in, where there's some damage. And that might be even better to do when you're healing one chakra at a time, is then, with this composite copy, but you can kind of feel, okay, there's a jagged edge there, so there may be several chakras that are damaged. Repair it. And at some point you decide, okay, good enough. Okay? And good enough has to do with how much time you have to work on it, how advanced you are, what's your motivational level. But good enough is good enough. Alrighty, so that's good enough. So that was all those three things: aura repair, creative ring repair, and chakra repair. So good karma windows and base of skull points, they're two different things, but they're in the same area back here. So I call them collectively the fifth essential. Oh, I will write that. The fifth essential. Okay. So like I said, it's back of head stuff. Base of skull points, that's pretty clear what that is. It's just acupuncture points. There are 2 rows of acupuncture points like you see in the diagram. One at the row at the top of the earlobe, one at the level of the top of the earlobe, a big horizontal line of dots there. Those are energy centers within traditional Chinese medicine meridians. And then there's another row of them at the level of the bottom of the earlobe. Right? And so each of those dots is a chakra that's shaped like this. It's just much smaller than this. And it fits in the meridian itself and helps the energy flow within that meridian. And it generates, chakras generate energy and keep the energy flowing. So, and different chakras have a different role. Like these chakras in the meridians, they're acupuncture points. They're little chakras, minor chakras, I call them. And their job is to keep energy flowing within the meridian itself. Whereas, like, say, your 4th chakra spins it out into the 4th layer of the aura. Right? But anyway. So just use a lot of gold light. You want these meridians that you see going through your base of skull area to be red and flowy. Well, any meridian to be red and flowy. Not stiff and hard and compressed. Red and flowy and full of flowing red life force of your physical body and you as a spirit. You don't have to know the direction of flow of each meridian because the chakras know. And so if you just repair and unblock the chakras, they'll do the rest. But if you did want to know the midline one, that's GV meridian, going up the midline in the back, hooking around the top of the head, ending in the mouth. GV stands for governing vessel meridian. The yellow one is urinary bladder meridian, UB, and that starts in the inner corner of the eye, goes up and over, and then it branches out from 2 branches into those 4 branches like you see. And then the green blue one is a lot on the side of the head. That's a lot of cool zigzaggy stuff on the side of the head. And then it goes back where you see that through the base of skull and then through the shoulder and down the body. But you don't have to know if that. And the blue one on the side of the head and everything that I said, that's gallbladder GB meridian. And in the info section of this live stream, there's a 12 meridian playlist that I link. So you could watch a video of any of those meridians, except for GB, that's not in that playlist, but you could post a question and I'll So comb through your base of skull area from within your head, like stick your energy hand in your head and comb through outward to the back of your space. Like see yourself in a profile, comb through the back of your head outward, right? And gather up the energy blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, all in your hand. Comb through your skull and your head and all those points and drag out the junk, all those blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of. The angels, can you recycle any invasive beings hooked into this stuff? And then melt the cords from people. And then melt the blocks with gold light. Outfit change, I'm getting hot, of course. Feel I get hot, usually. So comb through your base of skull area and outward, drag out all the junk. Angels, can you recycle any invasive beings plugged into this junk? You melt cords from going into all this junk. All right, nice. So good karma windows is what I abbreviate as GKW there. Good karma windows are like back doors in your astral body aura behind your base of skull and the back of your head, and a little bit like your upper neck. And each one of those good karma windows looks like a triple frame window. So like that. But they're different colors, whatever color your energy is in that aura layer. So you can imagine yourself again in a profile. Imagine a profile of yourself and your astral body and your astral body aura, and just comb outward through all these good karma windows and use gold light. Repair and unblock them with the gold light. You don't have to be able to see them. This gold light will fix them up, whether or not you see them. So just send gold light back to this area. You can just remind yourself it's okay to let go. It's okay to receive. It's okay to heal. It's okay to let go. You can bring up red earth energy straight from the core of the earth to these up to these good karma windows and just soak them all in red earth energy. You can lift out the blocks all at once and just use so much gold light that the blocks melt. Lift out the blocks. Use so much gold light that the melt. There can be invasive beings and or invasive people that, when you did have damage, wove their way through the windows and anchored into either base of skull points or your major chakras in your upper body. So that's fine. You can get them out. Just like if you're weeding a garden, you pull out the stems of the weeds and the leaves, but you want to get the roots of the weeds also out of your garden, right? So same thing with invasive people. You want to get the whole bunch of their energy out. So you just kind of surround it all in gold light, the part that's in the back behind here. And if there's any part in your chakras of their energy, just use gold light, imagine it all, and move it all out. Angels, here you go. So imagine all the invasive energy back here and where it's anchored and all of it, and just surround it in gold light, move it out. Angels, here you go. Surround it all in gold light, move it out. Angels, here you go. Okay. And just breathe into your shoulders, breathe into all your tree trunk points, your major joints on either side. So like shoulder joints, hip joints. My new favorite spot of the, always have different favorite spots, but I especially like Urinary bladder meridian. That's that yellow one that you're seeing right there. Right there. So those are what I would call the butt points because I'm a child. Due to my upbringing, I didn't necessarily have a happy childhood, so I figure better late than never, right? Never too late to have a happy childhood. So those are the butt points as far as I'm concerned. But they are points along the urinary bladder meridian. And all that yellow lines there and the dots. So the part where it's like it's in 4 branches and it's going down your back in 4 branches, and then it like right, it's going down the back in 4 branches, right? And then it gets the inner branches get to the lower back and the upper part of the butt, and then it makes like an N shape, like N like Nancy, right? And so I used to get confused at how it goes. Like, does it make an N that way or an N this way? But now I remember it like, okay, well, these are the inner branches, and then it becomes even more inner because it goes like 4 points, boom, 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 and then it goes up, and then it does 4 more, boom, 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 even more inner. So it's already the inner branches, and then it does another 4 points that are even more inner. And that is like a real favorite spot for me to do. So unfortunately, I didn't change my banner. So I'm sorry about that. I don't mean to confuse myself later. So I have been doing it already. So that's what the ... symbolizes to me later, hopefully. The urinary bladder meridian butt points, especially the N. The ends. So those, the inner branch where it goes boom, 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 and then up, and then boom, 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 and then lower, right? So that's the part I'm especially in love with. Because I think if you can really knock out the compression that's in there, that I mean, with gold light, just melt it away and unblock your urinary bladder meridian Wei Qi aura, because each of these regular meridians has its own Wei Qi aura that goes with it. Also, GV and CV meridians have Wei Qi aura. But anyway, so it's like you imagine just the aura that is to nurture and protect urinary bladder meridian. And if the endpoints are tight and compressed and blocked, then generally that means either you have a lot missing here and it's like literally, you have a big rip in your urinary bladder meridian Wei Qi aura back here. Or it's a whole, the whole aura is whole, there are no rips, urinary bladder meridian Wei Qi aura going all around you, no rips, but they're like really hard blocks right there, in the aura right behind the endpoints. So just unblock your urinary bladder meridian Wei Qi aura right around the endpoints. Feel free to stretch a little. Good. And as I've said before, sometimes, you'll have blocks right by the meridian or your body, and then you'll have blocks further out that correspond as well. So it's like 2 sets, the inner and the outer set of blocks that are in front of your end points. And you could have a lot of them. So you clear some, and then you find more, and then you find more, and you find more, and you find more. But the more you clear, the more your endpoints and the meridian right around there will loosen up and get more vibrant and get more life force in it. And each of these points helps you in like 20 different ways. So it's really cool. I mean, in general, that's true for all these acupuncture points. All right, so that was fun for me. I hope it was fun for you. Something you can do more on your own, but it's super cool. You can even make energy healing flowers for your butt points and especially the end points. so make energy healing flowers out in front of you, out of universal healing energy. Make them gold and or rainbow colors, whatever, you just do it with your intention. You have to worry about it. Don't have to worry about it. And just set them to the best vibration to nourish and support and strengthen all your butt points, your urinary bladder meridian in that area, and especially the end points. And then just say, angels, can you adjust? Can you heal my butt point flowers? And then once your angels have adjusted them, edited them, then you just give them to your butt. Sit on them. Lean back on them. Put them behind your lower back, upper part of your butt. So more endpoint healing flowers for yourself. Tune them to just the right vibration for you. Angels, can you heal my flowers? All right, good job, good job. Let's see. As far as what those points do, like I said, each point, could be helping 5 to 10 to 12 different ways. So you can look it up though if you want. You could look up. Well, you can ask me in the comment section if you want later, after this live stream is done, what references you could use. But there are different references you can look up and find the number of those points. So like, okay, that's urinary bladder point, blah, blah, blah. And then look up what that point helps you with, if you want. But basically, flow is good. You're repairing the leaking. You're helping the chakras to generate more energy and keep it flowing. That's what chakras should do. And so you're just helping with. Okay, cool. Awesome. Let's see. Move on. Good job, good job, good job, by the way. Woohoo. I'm just taking notes for a sec. Hold on. Okie doke. So now we'll do more for the theme. There's so much I could write. I just can't fit it all. But what we're going to do is, this is very theme related, what we're going to do right here. And it has to do with, unblocking and healing your 7th chakra in the top of your head. Ideal color is purple. 7th chakra helps with goals, identity, creative inspiration. Well, yeah, I would say 7th. Maybe creative rings is also creative inspiration. But identity empowerment definitely is your 7th chakra. Confidence. I don't know if I mentioned that. So next month we're going to be working confidence and intuition, which is a lot of 7th chakra stuff. So just a little advertisement for December's healings. On sale now at jwhealing.com. But anyway, so 7th chakra is that, and then 4th chakra in the center of the chest, love, self-love, motivation, glass half full perspective, gratitude, lots of good stuff, self-care, self-love, self-esteem. So I was saying how identity, strong self-esteem helps you to know what you want and form goals around it and be motivated. Goals is 7th, motivation is 4th. So it's like 4th and 7th, 4th and 7th, 4th and 7th. So I thought, let's just work them together. So we already did healing them as gardens up at the start of the healing in the ground, just after grounding. And now we're going to do more with identity and self-esteem by healing the 7th chakras and the 4th chakras and the 7th layers and the 4th layers of the auras. And I think, discipline is part of the theme too, but I think with strong identity and strong self-esteem, and if you tie your goals to your identity, like I am someone who exercises, I am someone who, drinks enough water. This is what I value. I value this. This is what I do. It is who I am. That strengthens it. It puts, your 7th chakra behind it too, not just your 3rd. Like, I'm going to do this. I want to do this. I need to do this. This is who I am. Bam. So anyway, let's do it. Okay, so let's do it. So your 7th chakra in the top of your head, like I said, the orientation is this way. So it's an open cylinder, your 7th chakra. You have 2 of them, astral 7th and physical 7th. But you can imagine one inside the other, which is the way it is if you're even just a little present and awake. So just imagine both astral and physical 7th chakras. Set them to be your favorite shade of purple is what I would suggest. I think the rainbow system where red at the bottom, orange, yellow, green, light blue, deep blue, purple is very practical. But you don't have to do that. But if you want, set your 7th to your favorite shade of purple, both 7th chakras, and use gold light and unblock them. So like get rid of the clogs here and here, especially down here, because your 7th chakras pull up energy from the bottom of your 7th layer all the way below your feet, all the way up through your body into your 7th chakra, and then it fountains upward to the top of your 7th layer, and then fountains down all around, all the way down to the bottom of your 7th layer, and then your 7th chakra pulls it all the way back up. Unblock the bottom of your 7th chakras especially. And that bottom route that's your 7th chakra pulls up, I call that your lower 7th chakra river. Unblock that too. And then your upper 7th chakra river is here, where your 7th chakra shoots out your energy up to your 7th layer, and then it goes down again. So this part up here to here, I call your upper 7th chakra river. So just use gold light and unblock that. Then your 7th layer, that's the outermost layer of your astral body aura and your physical body aura, your 7th layer. Gold light through there. You can use gold sandstorm, which is like spinning bits of gold light to scrub out anything that's not you, or just gold fire. That's kind of nice too. Burn out everything that's not you. It's just gold light, so it's not going to actually harm anything. It's just going to clear it all out. Like gold light is sort of like spiritual bug spray. So if you use a concentration and a strong enough concentration, it's going to pop everything out. It's not you. lots of gold light through your 7th layers and through both your 7th chakra rivers. Unblock 7th chakras. Melt cords going into your 7th chakras. You can say, angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my 7th chakra, 7th chakras, or any of this route that I'm healing, can you recycle those beings? 7th layers. 7th chakra rivers. 7th chakras. You can move your arms around. Just remind yourself, hey, this space is mine. This layer all around, it's all mine. And, you know, while you're aware of your 7th layer and you're healing it in your 7th chakra and the 7th chakra rivers, you can think about, you know, your identity version of your positive goals. Like, you know, I am someone who exercises. I am someone who, you know, whatever, eats healthy. I'm someone who, you know, is working towards blah, blah, blah. Okay, so that was the 7th chakra. And now we'll do 4th chakra. Okay, so 4th chakra, center of chest, love, self-love, passion, motivation, self-esteem, compassion, all sorts of stuff, self-care. So again, basic chakra shape. Green is a nice color for your 4th chakra. Round opening in the front, round opening in the back. So you can make a copy out in front of you of a chakra and have it represent both your physical body 4th and your astral body 4th. Chances are your physical body 4th and your astral body 4th fits nicely inside your physical body 4th right now, unless you feel really out of it, then maybe they're next to each other. But you can heal them both at once either way. Just imagine one chakra and have it represent both your astral and your physical body 4th chakras. Or you could view them separately, like maybe one is all blackened and one looks fantastic. And that way you would notice which one you really need to concentrate on healing more. But I'm going to imagine them both together. So just like we healed with the 4th chakra, 7th chakra, the only difference is the position is this way instead of that way. But it's the only difference. Everything else is very similar. The rivers, the 4th chakra pulls energy in the front. So here's the 4th layer going all around you. So your front 4th chakra river is from your 4th layer into the 4th chakra. So that's your front 4th chakra river. And then this is your back 4th chakra. So the 4th chakra pulls energy in, it spins around, spits it out back into the 4th layer. And then it wraps all around you into the front. And then your 4th chakra sucks it in again. So front 4th chakra river, back 4th chakra. And then 4th layer goes all around. That's what we're healing. 4th chakras. Unblock them, melt cords from everybody, unblock. So like if you're feeling lonely or like, so what are the opposites? Because you know all the positive things that a healthy 4th chakra can give you, but how can you tell if you especially need to work your 4th chakra? Well, then you got to learn the negatives. So what if you don't have self-esteem? What's that? Well, chances are you get caught up in like some kind of victim energy, or you have zero motivation. You just feel really like hopeless, or maybe you resent people, you're bitter. That's another sign of a blocked 4th chakra. Or even if you feel very lonely, that's another sign of a blocked 4th chakra, which is ironic because you would think being lonely is like a logical thing. Like, well, I don't have friends, Janet. Of course I'm lonely. What the hell? But if your 4th chakra is working really well actually you probably will only feel like this lonely as opposed to this lonely. So if you feel this lonely or even this lonely, your fourth chakra is probably blocked, and or your fourth layer. So let's just make everybody feel better, make you feel better. Melt away, and you might have some damage still in your fourth chakras, some cracks or missing pieces. So just use so much gold light. It repairs, and like I said, gold light is like spiritual bug spray. So use such a strong concentration that everything that's not you pops out. Such a strong concentration of gold light. And you have your front fourth chakra river and your back fourth, right? Because your fourth chakra sucks your energy in, spins around, shoots it out the back to your fourth layer, and then it wraps all the way around front again. Block both your fourth chakra rivers. You don't have to be able to see to do this. You just imagine, okay, well, I'm going to scoot together all the blocks in this river and melt them away. Scoot together all the blocks, melt them away with gold light. You know, I'm going to just use gold fire or gold sandstorm or gold light throughout both my fourth layers and melt all the blocks. You might have a stack of blocks on the top or a stack of blocks at the bottom. You might have big blocks in the front or the back. Lift out the blocks from your fourth chakra, melt them away with gold light. Lift out the blocks that are healthy and gentle to get rid of out of your fourth chakra, melt them with so gold light that they dissolve fully. Blocks melt. All right, good job. So then now okay, so we're going to do now blanket exercise, clearing all healthy and gentle blocks that are healthy and gentle to clear, H and G blocks, healthy and gentle, to help with clarity, clarity around your goals, like knowing what you want to aim for, what is a good goal for you, to strengthen your identity, strengthen your self-esteem, strengthen your discipline, which is also part of this theme of this healing. So that's easy. Just make a big old blanket out in front of you and heap onto it. It doesn't matter where they are. Just make copies and put those copies out in front of you, or imagine that you're lifting the blocks out themselves and putting them on the blanket. Doesn't matter. So any baggage in the way of you knowing your goals, knowing healthy goals for yourself, achieving your goals, having discipline to work towards your goals, anything in the way of a healthy, strong identity for yourself, anything in the way of a healthy, strong self-esteem for yourself, just put all on the gold blanket and say, angels, can you check and see if this is healthy and gentle for me to clear all this right now? And take a couple deep breaths while your angels edit the pile. So then whatever's left, yes, it is healthy and gentle to clear right now. Your angels already checked. So then the other thing you ask your angels is, angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into any of this junk? And a couple deep breaths while your angels do that for you. That way it's a lot less drama. Clear this. No invasive beings going, hey, what are you doing? All right. So now it's just a bunch of energy blocks, maybe that your bossy sister's courting or something, or your nosy neighbor, right? So just bring up red earth energy, soak all the blocks in red earth energy, and use gold light from your hands and melt cords from everybody going into this baggage. Melt everybody's cords, melt everybody's energy out with gold light from your hands, melt your energy out, your resistance out of it. And once everybody's out of the pile, then you could blow it up in nice colorful fireworks if you want. Let's see, colorful. Confetti. You could blow it up in colorful, beautiful confetti if you want. Or just keep melting the pile with gold light so you can fully melt it. Melting. Okay. So one more time, more quickly. Big old blanket out in front of you. Put copies of all your baggage that's in the way of you being clear of what are healthy goals for you, what are ideal goals for you, anything in the way of your motivation, your discipline, your ability to work consistently towards your goals, anything that's weakening your identity or self-esteem, all that out in front of you. The angels, can you double check this pile and make sure it's healthy and gentle for me to clear all this right? Breath while your angels do that. And then the second request, angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings that are at all connected to this chunk? Deep breath. All right. So then use lots of gold light. You can bring up red earth energy straight from the core of the earth, soak the pile. Use gold light to melt away cords from everybody going into this pile, including from yourself. So melt everybody's cords. Wash everybody out of the pile, including your own resistance. Everybody out. And then you could blow up the pile or you could melt it with gold light fully. And if there's any left over, wrap it up in gold light and give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with this? All right, good job. Woo, 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 woo. You're amazing. So that was pretty cool. That way, if you do it that way, you don't have to worry where the stuff is. So that's kind of nice. Okay, so this is easy because your angels do it all. Basically, you just ask them. So what you can do is ask your angels to store away any junk that's too much for you to handle right now. Any baggage that's triggered that's too much for you to handle right now. Yeah. So you can say, angels, can you please help me with angel storage to safely store away whatever's too much for me to deal with right now. And just take some deep breaths while your angels do that for you. And like I said in the intro when I explained it, it's safer, more reliable, and healthier than just regular repression. Because your angels can work with you to deal with it bit by bit by bit when you're ready. Couple deep breaths. Check your grounding. If your grounding isn't as wide as all your auras, go ahead and make it wide again. You can change the color if you want. Make them both red, then make them both orange, and make them both yellow. And you can figure out which of those colors you like the best and put it back to that one. Use gold light and use so much gold light in your grounding that it just gets everybody out. And you have a nice strong downward flow. Deep breath, breathe into your spine. Breathe into your butt points, which are points that we were healing in your lower back and your upper butt. All right, good job, good job. Woo-hoo. Oops. Good job, good job, good job. Okay, so this is so much easier than it sounds because once again, your angels do all the work. It's just beautiful. Which is not always the case, you know. Sometimes your angels are like, why don't you do that? And then we'll meet you halfway. But this one, it's all them pretty much. So like I said in the intro, curses are real, but they're not like scary and forever like people think. You can definitely undo them, clear them out of your space. It's just you have to kind of understand how they were done. It's like, you know, if your Christmas lights are tangled, you can untangle your Christmas lights, you know, if you celebrate Christmas. I don't, but as a kid, my parents did. So I've seen, you know, big tangles of Christmas lights, you know, or, you know, whatever, like your laundry, you can pare back your socks, you know, I mean, sometimes you'll miss a sock, but you know, you can, it's a fixable thing, right? So curses is the same thing. Curses are removable. You just have to understand how they work so that you can dismantle the whole damn thing. So how a curse works is just, and again, don't do this to anybody because, I mean, you have free will, you could if you want, but it's such bad karma for you. It's like insane. It's like you are exponentially screwed in like 15 different ways if you do. But whatever, people have free will. So, but so a lot of times what people do that do curses, you know, maybe this is from a past life, but in some cultures, it's not uncommon still to this day, which is kind of wild. Some subcultures or entire cultures in a society. But anyway, it's like there's the person who has that malevolent intention, right? And most of the time, that level of malevolent intention automatically attracts dark, invasive beings to them. So the cursor, right? The person who curses, they have these dark, malevolent entities around them. And then furthermore, a lot of times those people want those dark entities around them because they want to use those dark beings to like haunt and punish the person that they're trying to curse, right? Sometimes maybe they don't understand that and they're very naive. And so they just think that they're doing something and it just magically harms the person. They don't understand that there are very destructive, dangerous entities that they're toying with that they're going to now be screwed by for like lifetimes. So they might not understand that they're playing with fire. But anyway, one way or another, they are working with dark, invasive beings, whether they know it or not, that will endeavor to punish the people that they're cursing and them as well. So the cursor gets super screwed as well, loses at least as much energy, not even including the karmic debt that they're going to have to pay off in the future. And so then they will be punished extra because of the bad karma that they have to pay off. So there's like every which way from Sunday, they're screwed now just because they cursed people. So there's that. But anyway, so you have the person who's cursing and then you have the person who gets cursed. And chances are it involves putting hard devices into that person's space, and maybe, and those dark beings get associated with the hard objects in that person's space. So it could just be like a clamp on that person's heart chakra that makes them very apathetic and unmotivated, right? And so there's a clamp there. There's a couple dark beings that kind of surround it. It makes it harder for that person, less likely for that person to actually subconsciously or consciously clear it someday, right? So whenever you see a device in your space, you want to remove it, but if it was done that way, there would very likely be invasive beings around it. But just in general, invasive beings like hard objects like that, because you're not that present there. And so whenever you see a device, usually angels, if there are any invasive beings around or connected to this device, can you recycle them, right? So that's standard, right? But the thing is, with these curse maintaining beings, it's a special level of curse that is not always present. So if you have someone that's like extra skilled at cursing, which, they're extra screwed then, therefore, because they have even worse karma from it, and they're working with even more dangerous beings. So it's a really bad thing to be good at, It's like very unfortunate if you get that lost and confused in your life and you're really good at it, because then you accrue so much more bad karma than you would otherwise, and you get tangled up with so much worse entities than you would otherwise. But whatever. It is what it is. I'm just explaining how it works. So but anyway, these curse maintaining beings can make it so that, until it gets dismantled, that the curse just has more and more continual effect for that person. The curse maintaining being, they keep sending more energy to the device to like supercharge it so that it's more painful and it's harder to remove, unless the person understands how it all works, and then they can untangle the Christmas lights, pretty easily. But if they don't understand, they're like, why can't I remove this thing? Or why, if I remove it, it comes back. I'm so confused. So they don't understand that there's a being from afar that just keeps creating a new device if that person removes it, or they keep supercharging it, so they're much less likely to be able to remove it. So those are curse maintaining beings. And a lot of times the curse maintaining beings, they'll show up when you're trying to remove it. And then so it's like you maybe get distracted or you get angry or something. And so, but if you're pretty skilled clairvoyantly, you see the being that just showed up and you have them recycled. So that's easy. But hidden curse maintaining beings, so see how I said prominent or hidden? So the prominent ones show up when you're trying to dismantle the device. So you're like, oh, you're there. I'm going to have the angels recycle you. Bam, bam. That was easy, right? But if it's a hidden one, it'll be like far away, and it won't be particularly obvious that it's associated with this device, this curse device. But you'll kind of use your intuition and be like, is there a hidden being that maintains this? Another clue is, if you remove it and it comes back later, that's a real big tip off. There's a hidden being that is, reinforcing the situation over and over, right? So, but it's the same thing. Once you sense that there's a hidden being that keeps reinforcing this curse and supercharging the devices or recreating them if they get removed, you just have your angels recycle the being, I mean, he thinks he's all that because he's hidden, he's behind a bunch of white clouds. So it's like, oh, nothing's here, but, all you have to do is say, angels, can you recycle any curse maintaining beings associated with this thing, whether they're hidden or not. And then they get recycled. A lot of times what's cool too is once those beings are recycled, the devices actually dissolve. But if they don't, you can remove them. But that is kind of cool that the devices, a lot of times they'll melt away once the curse maintaining being is gone, recycled. So that's that. That's all. So basically all you're doing is you're asking the angels, angels, can you please recycle any curse maintaining beings that I have in my space, whether they're hidden or prominent? And you can look and you can kind of count how many you have that are hidden and how many that you have that are prominent, curse maintaining beings. But just keep in mind that you might not be seeing the total amount. You're seeing what's healthy and gentle to deal with right now, which is fine. And you can work on it more later with your angels. Okay. So, but that's the idea. And then afterwards, we'll do like a speed round of all the 5 essentials to just repair. And maybe we'll add on sleep slide repair and maybe some chakra filament repair. So those are what I would do is speed round after all the punishment curse devices are gone and the invasive beings maintaining them are gone. Just a speed round of the 5 essentials and the repair of chakra filaments and repair of sleep slide. Just, so everything's like back to okay state, because all those punishment devices, they were harming everything, and when they're removed, then you're left with a bunch of gashes and stuff, which may not automatically repair. So that's what we'll do, some quick repair. And then we'll also clear nightmare baggage blocks that may cause bad dreams in the future if they're still left around. We'll just, clear some extra blocks afterwards. Okay, so that's what we'll do. It's easy. The angels do most of the work. Well, the bigger work, and then we'll do the 5 essentials. So let's. So doing, which is basically asking angels to recycle. Let's not make that so giant. Okay, so all you do is say angels. That's a very key part of it. Say angels, and then your angels will hear. You don't have to say it out loud though. Just say it with your mind. If you say it out loud, it would be like sort of like shouting on a spirit level. Just with your mind is perfectly loud for an angel. So say with your mind, say angels. Can you please? I mean, you could say it out loud if you want, but angels, can you please recycle any curse maintaining beings I have, whether they're hidden or prominent? And you can look, what's your healthy and gentle amount of the hidden ones that are sort of, working on you, and then the healthy and gentle amount of the prominent ones that are working on you, like trying to mess with you, trying to maintain the curses. So, or you can just look all together. Any curse maintaining beings, how many do you have that are healthy and gentle to get rid of, which is what your angels are working on recycling right. And just keep breathing, because your angels are going to do it slightly gradually. So they're not going to go, and it's all gone. It might take a minute. So you can have your healthy beverage. And you can imagine copies, just put the copies out in front of you of all the cursed devices that those beings were maintaining, and just notice as they destroy. If there are any that aren't fully destroyed, just keep an eye on them, make sure they fully destroy. So by now, your angels are probably done with that request. They did the healthy and gentle amount of recycling any curse maintaining beings that you have, that were maintaining curses done to you. And so then double check, those devices that related to those beings that were in your space, are any of them still around? Any of those devices still around? And if some of them are around, say, angels, if there are any other invasive beings hooked into this junk, can you recycle them? And then you can just use so much gold light that you're washing everybody out from the devices, and then just melt them away or blow them up. Okay. So now the devices are gone. the invasive beings that were the curse maintaining beings are gone. So those particular curse devices will not show up again because the beings that would have kept making them appear are now recycled. In other words, they don't exist. Those beings don't exist anymore, which is nice. And most of the time, the curses are from past lives, and those people have long forgotten about you. You could say, as a a safe measure, just say, angels, can you help me have healthy and safe boundaries with anybody who's ever, tried to curse me? Angels, can you help me to have healthy and safe boundaries with anybody that has ill will towards me? How about that? Now, that's not a perfect thing. You still have to live a healthy life and, not treat yourself like crap, because what you do contributes to your strong boundaries. Your eating, your sleeping, your hydration, all that stuff helps you to have better and better boundaries on a physical level, mental level, emotional level, spiritual level, everything. Okay, so then now we'll just do the speed round of, repairing stuff. So this will be the 5 essentials, and okay, so after the angels have recycled the curse maintaining beings and the devices are melted, then now we're just going to do some quick repair, right? So let's do it. All right, so I'm just going to freestyle them all together. Imagine a copy of your everything out in front of you, your physical body, your astral body, all your auras, both your groundings connecting you to the core of the earth. And just use so much gold light that you're repairing everything. You're repairing your auras. You're repairing your chakras. Any cracks or missing pieces in your major chakras along your spine, go ahead and repair those with gold light. You can use such a concentrated form of gold light that it does all that chakra repair of your major chakras along your spine. Base of skull points, acupuncture points, and then all the good karma windows back there. Just use so much gold light that all your good karma windows repair. Again, we already did longer forms of this repair earlier in the healing, so I'm not going to explain right now. Good karma windows, so much gold light. Everything out, repair everything. Base of skull points, comb out the junk. Melt all the junk away, comb out the junk, melt it all away. Creative rings above your head. So much gold light that all the cords pop out, all the devices pop out, everything repairs, everything unblocks. Gold light, gold fire, gold water, whatever you like, through all your auras, really strong. Just get everything out that's not you. Gold light through your groundings as well, all the way down to the core of the earth. Really strong, concentrated gold light. Get everything out that's not you. Auras above your head, below your feet. All around the outside of your auras, just melt away all the junk that might be hanging out just outside your auras, maybe that someone tried to dump on you. Melt all that junk away. Pull light up and down your spine. So the extras beyond the 5 essentials, chakra filaments. So you can imagine the set of physical 7 chakras, set of astral 7 chakras, and just gold light, repair and unblock all your filaments that connect your major chakras, physical to your astral 7 chakras. Filament 7, 6, 5, 4, 2, and 1. Extra 1. All right, come on, be as present as. Sleep slide unblocking and repair. Just do a little extra on that. So sleep slide connects your 7th chakra, your creative rings on up to the astral. It's just a path for you for when you fall asleep and when you come back. So sleep slide, go ahead and unblock it, repair it. Angels, if there are any invasive beings messing with my sleep slide, can you recycle them? Alrighty. So that's good enough for the repair round. Now that you got rid of the healthy and gentle amount of curse devices and curse maintaining beings recycled. Good job. So then the thing that I would recommend that you do afterwards, if you want, is clearing a blanket exercise, a simple blanket exercise for clearing any nightmare block, any energy blocks that may give you like body dreams, unpleasant body dreams in the next night or so. Because that way you're just more assured of pleasant sleep. Good. Pleasant sleep and pleasant waking up. Always nice. So clear nightmare baggage with blanket. And we're almost done with the healing, actually. That's exciting. Okay, so make a big old blanket out in front of you and pile onto it any baggage that you have on any level that could contribute to restless sleep, could contribute to you having trouble going back to sleep or going to sleep, could contribute to you having sleep that's not as deep and restful. Anything that might make you have, dreams that are overly bizarre or disruptive or unpleasant. Put all that baggage out in front of you. It could include dumped energy from other people. So put that all in the blanket. Say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Breath while your angels sort through it. And then the second request is, angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings that might be connected to this? Okay, so then you get to do the rest. Just bring up red earth energy, soak the pile in red earth energy straight from the core of the earth upward, and gold light, and melt away all the cords from you, other people going into all this baggage. Wash everybody's energy out of the baggage, including your own resistance. And then use so much gold light that it all melts away. Or now that you've gotten everybody out, you can blow it all up too. That's good. Okay, so then one more time, much faster. Gold light, gold blanket, nightmare baggage, disrupted sleep baggage. Angels, can you recycle any beings? Angels, is this healthy and gentle to clear? Gold light, gold light, gold light, gold light. Blow it all up or melt it fully. Anything left over, wrap it up in gold light and give it to your angels. Angels, can you help me with that? All right, great job, great job. So that was clearing nightmare baggage. plus, any baggage that would make it harder to go to sleep, stuff like that. Oh, right. Okay. So as part of our, all right, we'll do one more thing. Before the wrap up. Okay. So we're going to clear any resistance that you have, any resistance, like, why do they keep dumping on me? Why don't they leave me alone? Anywhere you're just not at peace with people trying to dump on you. If somebody dumps because they've had a bad day and they want you to feel it too, or they feel like you've harmed them and you're not, properly feeling shitty about it, they might dump in your space, right? But the idea is if you have good non-resistance and good flow and you're not triggered by that, then they can try all they want, and either it will completely bounce off the edges of your auras, it won't get in at all, or if some of it does get in, if you're non-resistant and you're chill about it, then you can just, even just subconsciously clear it out. Or, at the end of a day or the end of an awkward conversation, you can clear it out easily. Okay. So the idea is be non-resistant. Flowing, don't get all caught up in triggers like how could they do that to me? This always happens to me. Because then you're screwed. Then it's gonna come right in, all of it, and it's gonna stick to you, and your mood's gonna tank, and it's just a waste, right? So just have your non-judgment, view it from here. It is what it is. That person has their triggers. For whatever reason, they dumped, and it is what it. Just let it bounce off you. Let it flow off you like water off a duck's back, right? Let it flow off. Bounce off the edges of your aura like water off a duck's back. To be your problem. They're pissed, they're triggered, whatever they are, that's them. You can, you have your own climate within. You can clear your triggers, have your serenity, have your non-judgment. Is what it is. Okay, clear your expectations for, white glove treatment from the world. Just clear all of that, right? So big goal. So let's do it. Okay. So big old blanket out in front of you, pile onto it any resistance that you have about any judgment or resistance or expectations that you have that people shouldn't dump on you. How dare they, blah, 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 right? Just pile all that out in front of you. Anything that triggers when, your dad dumps on you or your mom dumps on you or whoever dumps on you, whatever inner baggage triggers, victimized, you feel angry, there's all this repressed anger that triggers whatever triggers when you get dumped on, right? Put all that out there and say, angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Breath. And then angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings that are hooked into this junk? All right. And then big red earth energy, lots of gold light, melt everybody out of the pile, melt cords going into the pile, melt all this junk, melt your resistance baggage, melt your triggers. So that if someone tries to dump on you, you're the queen of flow or the king of flow. You're just like, flow, bounce, bounce, bounce. It bounces off you. Bounce, 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 bounce. Water for duck's back. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Right? So one more time, make a big old blanket out in front of you, put all your expectations, judgments, anything rigid, about what happens, what you think people should do or shouldn't do around dumping on you. And just, put all that baggage out there, any judgment, any fears, any, whatever, repressed anger about it, any victim energy about it, put all that out in front of you. Whatever triggers when people dump on you, whatever baggage triggers, put all that there. And also while you're at it, put any dumped energy that you haven't cleared out yet, put all that on the blanket. Okay. And the angels, is it healthy and gentle to clear all this right now? Chances are your angels will say, hell yes, every bit of it. But if not, they'll edit the file. And then say, angels, can you please recycle any invasive beings hooked into this junk? Deep breath. And then lots of gold light. Lots of gold light. Melt the cords from other people. Melt cords from yourself. Wash everybody out of this baggage so that you can just melt it away or blow it all up. And if any of it doesn't fully melt or blow up, then just wrap it up in gold light. Give it to your angels. Say, angels, can you help me with this, please? Ah, there you go. So the fun of it is, then say you have a person who regularly dumps in your space. You can double check later, okay, so, my grouchy sister typically dumps in my space after every phone call that we have. So, tomorrow after my phone call, I'm going to double check. Did she try to dump in my space, and how much of it just bounced out and didn't even come in, and how much of it came in, and how much of it, last time bounced out and how much came in. Maybe last time it all came in and I left it there for a week. This time only half of it got in, and I'm going to clear it right now. Boom, it's gone, so half bounced out, and, maybe it just bounced fully away. If it's right in front of my auras, I'll just blow it up. But that's the idea. So you don't have to be burdened by what people dump in your space. You can, if it gets in, you can clear it. And if it doesn't get in, that's even more fun, So you have flow and non-resistance, then it's more likely just to bounce out fully and bounce away and not come in your auras. So that's kind of fun. All right. So that's that. Fun with bouncing dumped energy off of your auras. Okie dokie. So then going to wrap up so fast. And we're not going to do a big discussion afterwards, or we'll probably do like 60 seconds of discussion afterwards. So basically, if you did want me to reply to anything, you're going to have to repost it under the video. Once the live stream is a video, like 5 minutes. Just post it as a video comment. If you haven't yet given this live stream a thumbs up, please consider doing that. It does help. And here's my thumbs up for you. You're amazing. Go, go, go. Energy healing rock stars. Woo! Okay. So wrapping up, imagine your everything, lots of gold light. Redo your gold buffer zones. Lots of gold light through all your 17 auras. Repair anything that needs repairing. Wash through your 2 groundings. Make them nice and wide as all your auras. Bring them up high as chakra. Come all the way down to the core of the earth. Unblock your groundings. You can put out in front of you any triggered energy blocks that still haven't cleared. STEBs, I usually call them stubborn triggered energy blocks. Put them out in front of you. So much gold light that they melt away. Put them out in front of you. Use so much gold light that they. All right. So you can ask your angels. Angels, can you help me wrap up this? Angels, can you please help me with my discipline, with the consistent positive actions? Can you help, angels? Can you help me work towards my goals? Can you help me have clarity on what healthy goals are for me? Angels, can you help me achieve my goals? All right, good job, good job. That's a healing. You're a rock star. Woohoo! Yay! All righty, so so that's my website, jwhealing.com. If you do want to purchase a healing set, the December ones and November ones are up on my website. They are selling a little bit faster than they have recently. I don't know why that is. Maybe just people are excited about end of year healings. I know I am. But anyway, okay. So glancing, I'm just gonna scan, see if there's any newbies, because they wouldn't know, maybe they don't know that I have to go because my husband's a live streamer too, and he's gonna live stream in less than a half hour, so I gotta get off the internet. So I'm looking for a newbie. Oh, I'm not sure if you're a newbie or not. I don't think you're a newbie, so you might be a newbie. I'm not sure. I don't know your YouTube name well, but you say, can you check my grounding and levels after the healing? That is pretty easy. So checking your grounding, it's okay. It's wide on the sides and the front, but in the back, it does this it kind of caves in a little in the back. So it's like if this is you, and then it does a little slanty thing. So it's not as wide in the back. Your auras are nice and wide in the back. Then the grounding just kind of goes like that as it goes down to the core of the earth. So I would check. It looks like you can say, angels, can you recycle any invasive beings that are messing with the back of my grounding? And that should pop it back. So that you have better flow in the back. Because that'll help, drain out some stagnant energy in the outer back. Hope that helps. Jules, can you please recycle any invasive beings messing with my grounding, especially in the back? All right. So that's all the newbie comments, I think. So if you are a newbie, super newbie, first time commenter, and I'm not seeing your comment, I apologize, but I don't think there's any other first time commenters. Everybody else, hopefully you understand that I gotta go. Marital harmony is very important. He's not forcing me off. I just feel like it's respectful because he has a Wednesday night live stream all the time. And I just started live streaming once a month on Wednesdays, so to be polite. But I do want to know how the healing was for you. So I'll have to. YouTube doesn't let me see the video comments until like it finished processing the videos. So I'll see the comments tomorrow probably. But I'm glad if you guys like the work. It does seem like there are a lot of positive comments, so that's good. Yeah, lots of people feel better, so that's nice. So yeah, you guys are amazing, and you're awesome. And the twin set is actually pretty soon. It's next. Let's see, what's today? The 12th. Today's Wednesday. So in 3 days in 3 days on the 15th, which is Saturday, that's when the January healings go on sale on my website. So if you don't get my news emails, so that you get an email the moment they go up on my site, I don't know, you could just check my website on the 15th if you don't want to get my news emails. If you do want to get my news emails every month on the 15th, then just email me and ask for it. Janet@jwhealing.com. There's also a contact page on my website, jwhealing.com, where you can message me and say, hey, please add me to your news email list. But anyway, so that's the next thing is the 15th. The January sessions go up, which is exciting. And then the twin set dates, they're on my website, but I have a feeling it's like Thursday the 20th and then Sunday the 23rd. Yeah, that makes sense. So November 20th, which is a Thursday, and November 23rd, which is a Sunday. That's the November twin set. And there are some small number of spots still available for that one. Okay, guys. So you're amazing. And I hope you forgive me, but marital harmony comes first. For family live streaming day. Woohoo! If you did want to watch my husband's live stream, if you care about comic books, like especially independent comic books, independently published, so not Marvel or DC, his live stream, his YouTube channel name is Indie Comics and Reviews. right? Indie Comics and Reviews, I think. And the logo of it is a bunny rabbit that is doing some kind of martial arts. Ninja bunny assassin is his logo or his YouTube. He's an artist, my husband's, and a comic book writer. But anyway, so that live stream is starting in less than 20 minutes. So I got to go. All right, bye. You're so amazing. Bye. Let's see. We'll do butterflies. Okay, bye.